Welcome everyone to our today's PlantVillage University webinar series. And today we'll have our speaker who is Ndwega. And our topic for today is youth and digital agribusiness. So here we have Gladys, she can say hi, and we have Pete with us. And yeah.
Thank you, Melody. So I'm excited to learn about the agribusiness part since I'm a youth. Yeah, so waiting for the speaker to give us that knowledge. Thank you.
Sure, thanks. So Pete.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for. I'm excited for the university seminar this week, and thank you for having me.
Welcome. Yeah, so my name is Melody Dipto, and I'll be your moderator today. And as I said, we have our speaker, Ndwega, and who is the CEO and the lead technical engineer at AgroTunnel International and M Advisory Africa. He's a trained RF engineer in Finland. He has a wealth of knowledge and experience in structural design and telecommunication engineering, having previously worked at USAID Kenya, GSO office as FSN, and also Cargill East African Limited as a coffee manager, and I served in AgroTunnel International as a partner for over 15 years in agribusiness smart agri models. So he participated in the Nairobi County Beautification Project Irrigation. He has developed a short course curriculum on hydroponic fodder production for livestock in Makerere University, the African Institute for Strategic Animal Resource Services and Development, and Egerton University, Innovation for the Livestock Industry. He has trained over 2,500 stakeholders in the agricultural sector in partnership with Egerton University, Makerere University, Jomo Kenyatta University, Nazarene University, Carlo, ASDSP, and ICIPE. He's the author of the hydroponic fodder production book, the Greenhouse Tomato Manual, Farm to Your Blood Type Manual. He also participated in the development of Greenhouse Crop Production Manual in partnership with the Kenya Agricultural Research and Livestock Organization. He has represented the private sector in several conferences and workshops, including the African Agribusiness Incubation Network in Ghana, that is Ministry of Science and Technology, Uganda, and etc. So he has received several awards and recognition both locally and internationally. He is a trainer, a researcher and innovator in the field of engineering and agrobusiness, ICT innovation in agribusiness, which is our topic for today, farm structures, irrigation, and hydroponics. He has also carried out several agricultural engineering consulting and training assignments in Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. So he also attended several exchange programs in agricultural engineering sector in Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Namibia, South Africa, and Ghana. So that's our speaker for today. That's Ndwega. So we also have analyst just left a few minutes ago, but she's our executive director based at Pennsylvania University. We also have Pete, who is with us, and is the lead machine learning engineer. He'll also be helping us in case of any technical issues. So in case you have a problem, just request him or reach out to him in the chat box. I think he'll respond. And we also have Gladys, and she'll be helping me in case of any challenges. So Mr. Oliver, we also have a team of youth who are working with PlantVillage. We call them Dream Team. And it's a group of youth age between 20 to 30 or 35, different counties in Kenya. And yeah, they're doing a good job, and they're here today to learn more about youth and digital agribusiness. We also have friends who have joined us today, who have done courses in agriculture, and they are ready to learn from you today. So welcome our speaker. You can now take over. So for questions and QA, we have the Q&A part. So if you have any question, just raise there or put it there. We'll just read and our speaker will answer. And then he had requested that we have the Sasai app, and there is a PowerPoint presentation that Gladys sent to us. So if you have any question regarding that PowerPoint presentation, you can also put it in the chat or Q&A. And also for our topic today, the questions you can just put there. So welcome everyone and welcome our speaker.
Thank you very much, young people. I'm also young, I'm only 60 years old. So we know a farmer in Africa, a farmer in Kenya is that age. So it is very exciting from what you've heard in my profile and CV. Today I'm working on the platform because I'm in a relaxed mood. What I would want, first of all, is I know all the 46 participants in the meeting today want to hear my story rather than it in written form. I'm a radio engineer. I did engineer as my first degree. And after that, because I was brought up in a farm, my father was a scientist. He wanted to develop a maize variety called 6.2. And that means a lot of food, ugali and sukuma wiki and this kind of thing in Kenya. So after I did my radio engineering and also traversed in all those companies that I worked with, they said that it's time for me to retire early. Then I started this concept of greenhouse. So I'm the pioneer of greenhouse that you see in Africa for small-scale farmers. So from that, I did a program with Carlo, and we studied why are greenhouses failing in Africa, especially in Kenya. So when we did that study, I realized there's a big gap between advisory and extension service. Because all people in Africa want to enter into farming, but they don't have information. All the information is there in the Google. And that information is not reliable because it's information for Europe and America. Studies have not been done in Kenya. Very people have done studies in greenhouse farming. I'll tell you something very interesting. In Kenya, we don't have a PhD holder in greenhouse farming. We don't have a PhD holder in hydroponics technology for animal feed. So when we bring in staff to Kenya, it brings in a challenge because people don't know. So because people don't know, if you see my label here, I'm calling myself M Advisory because it's a brand of a product and a new business that I'm bringing on board on digital. We don't know. Now we need to know. So who will bring in a platform so that we know? And that's why I've invited Sasai to come on board and also see if we can develop something for Africa. Everybody is using Facebook, WhatsApp, and Telegram, etc. But we also have a product for Africa, which is originating from Econet in in Zimbabwe. So I don't know if Madam Melody, you can bring on board Lutendo, if she's available, to quickly give us 5 minutes of a presentation. And this presentation will be focusing on business, what you can do with Sasai. So we need to also to know what is Sasai. Then from there, then I'll proceed as we continue this discussion and with this meeting. I would like it to be interactive whereby the ones who are listening, the team that is listening, can come on board and send questions so that as I look at the questions, I can also be responding. Because I would like it to be interactive. I don't want to play PowerPoint, which is like a classroom. I would like this session to be interactive. And to me, when it's interactive, it's very, very exciting. So I would like Melody, I don't know, the host, to bring on board Lutendo. and perhaps Lutendo, welcome. You can unmute yourself and come on board. Of course.
All right, I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear.
Oh, all right, hello,
Just
hello
introduce
guys, thank
yourself.
you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ndwega, for this opportunity. Without taking much of your time, okay, so SASA is actually an innovation by Econet Wireless. It's a Pan-African innovation, a super app which has created an exclusive space for all things African, where we can embrace our Africanness and be comfortable to be Africans. So the super app actually allows users to watch videos, to share podcasts, to do lives, to share their special moments. That is your pics, your videos, and it also allows content creators to come on board with their content in order to promote their content that is across Africa and globally as well. And the main objective is actually to give content creators and content aggregators an opportunity to monetize their content directly from subscribers who pay first before they access content. So the business model actually is advocating for a 65 to 35 share model, revenue share model, where the content creator gets the 65% and the business remains with the 35%. What makes Asai special is that you don't need to actually wait till you get a certain number of viewership like we do on YouTube, because most content creators are actually not reaching the benchmark to get revenue. So this is actually the chairman's baby, who is Strive Masiwa. I'm sure most of you know him, who is the founder of Econet, to say that can't we have African content creators getting an opportunity to make money out of their content? We are saying that you get the opportunity to make money from day one. Who is a content creator? A content creator is everyone and anyone. That's me singing in my shower. I can actually record those audios, podcasts. If you're somebody who likes telling stories, go on ahead and record podcasts, and then come on board, share on the Sasai platform. Musicians, even those who would like to be film producers one day, and they are still maybe using their phones to actually capture those special moments. We are saying that come on board. You are the African content creators and you're special that way. So we are also looking into getting into partnership with Mr. Ndwega, with his company as well, so that we actually get farmers advisories, farmers information, everything to do with farming. Because, well, in Zimbabwe, we are also into farming. Well, food is food. Food is needed everywhere. So yeah, we are also looking into getting into a partnership with Mr. Ndwega. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very brief from Madame from Lutendo from Zimbabwe. Why did I bring her on board? Because we don't want to have too much of outside there than developing our own content. So, because this meeting is for the youth and digital agribusiness space, what do we need to do? If you produce content and you put it on YouTube, how many viewers are you going to get? So, in this space, I'm trying to develop a brand called M Advisor. And with this M Advisor, it can be plugged in to WhatsApp, to Sasai, to Facebook, to etc. But now, because I'm proud from Africa, we would like to develop something that speaks African. I'll give an example. If in Kenya, in Swahili, there's a problem of poultry called coccidiosis, how do you translate that and explain it in the local language? So the goodness with Sasai speaks the language of each country. In Kenya, we've got Kikuyu, Swahili. In Uganda, we've got Uganda, Shona, and Zulu also. So because right now the meeting, most of the people who are joined are from Kenya. Can we develop something that we can go there and earn money? With my platform, if I go and share my screen on what I would like perhaps you to look at, this is a very interesting concept that I was looking at, working with young innovators and entrepreneurs in Uganda. Just called virtual advisor. Why I'm putting virtual advisor, because that's a brand that I want to bring in Uganda. But in Kenya, it's M advisor. So this comes into the ICT space. I'll skip this because it's too technical, and I'll go to a simple. Why V advisory? V advisory means virtual advisory services. So I want to be different from other people who are already in the marketplace. So with all said, my idea was to bring in the youth to be part of it. I believe you know very well that there are many youth who are already employed in call centers to provide services. But my concept is a virtual, whereby you only need your phone. So when you have your phone, you can do all these activities. So I'm sharing this because this is a PowerPoint which I just picked quickly because it's what I'm working on for Uganda. The word Omanye means I don't know. I know. So we're looking at the big 5 problems that the youth can quickly jump into as the SMEs. A youth can come in and give advisory on production. So in Uganda, I'm saying Omanye, I know. It means I know. In Swahili, Najua, or whatever language it will come into. Then another youth will be interested to do value addition advisor. Another youth will be interested to do marketing advisor, financial advisory. Another one will be click on alerts. What does it mean? In this agriculture space, we need people to be giving people information. So the youth, they are always very busy. From the university, they have already cracked and known about production of anything. Let's say maize, let's say soya, let's say cassava. So if you are an expert in that line, then you come on board with to me and I'll give you a system. And this system will work on both IVR, USSD, and then WhatsApp POT. And that's why we're bringing on board SASAI so that the smart generation that is coming there in the urban, because before we go to the rural area, the smart generation can be doing gardening and small scale farming within the city. So we need now the learning model of production. How do we produce garden eggs or eggplant? How do we produce dhania, coriander? How do we produce kales? So we're looking at the youth. With that knowledge, you can sacrifice time to go and do this. In my database, I'm very much interested because I want youth in excess of 1,000 come on board. Because I'm working with African advisory services in Uganda and East Africa Farmer Field School with a database of 30 million. So these 30 million people need to be given information. If you look at right now, there's a current meeting going on in Uganda. We are looking at Uganda. An extension officer 1 is serving 5,000. But when we go digital, one extension officer will serve more. So it will not put pressure to governments, it will not put pressure to people to do this service. So this is a very interesting thing whereby I want to bring in the youth. So apart from agriculture, the facility can also offer education and health. But I don't want to go into health and education because education, it was a crisis because of this COVID. So most of our children were indoors and we needed somebody to offer that. But you have to be accredited to offer education service. Same applies to health. Now for agriculture, we're trying to work with Makerere University, another university, to accredit people who are going to give advice so that they give credible advice to the public. So here is just a model which I wanted to share, and I believe Madam Melody, you had already shared with people to try it out. We have our WhatsApp DOT, which we also want to have it in Sasai, also in Telegram, and also in Signal, whereby you can have a QR, and then from the QR, this is a model whereby if you look at, you can see where I'm pointing, you just type in, or it will come automatically the word M advisory, and then it will give you a greeting signature. And from that greeting, you will register, you put your name. Then after you put your name, you put your age, because I want to find out who you are, and if you're a farmer or whatever. And then you give me your location. So with that, when I get all this data, then I'll give you this platform whereby you can select, so that in my backend of my office, I'll see you are interested in this kind of information. This one I'm preparing because we are having a reality TV show that we're going to run with Citizen TV, and we want to bring in a prize of 10 million in a shilling, which is $100,000 for our winning youth, so that they win a prize, and this will bring in an encouragement to other youth to come to agriculture, because everybody loves winning. So that's the model that I developed this with my experts in India and also some in Kenya, and where we also want to take this to the Sasai platform. So in very brief, before the smartphone, I know there are other people who don't have a smartphone in the marketplace. So we will have the IVR model, and the IVR means the people who have a challenge of getting a smartphone, they can use the IVR. IVR is this integrated version of whereby you have a number like, let's say, 999 for police is an IVR number. But we press that and you get the information about security. But now for farming, right now, before we get the short code, we can have the long number whereby it will bring you customer care service, whereby it will direct you 10 for customer care, 1 for production. So it means when you press 1 at the back end of my system, I will have 64 channels, means 64 people can talk at the same time. So it means 64 youth who can offer advisory. And that can be very, very interesting, because it's a revenue share model whereby the youth, the more he talks, the more he's earning, because he's giving advisory to the caller. The caller is the farmer. And he has pressed 1, so I'll put use of 64 youth to answer questions to do with production. Another one to do with value addition. Another one marketing and financial innovation. So all this means I'll be creating employment to youth, so that them, whatever they're doing, they can be giving information. So what will I be doing before then? I'll be training and retraining. So every other day I'll be retraining, so that you can become expert in financial advisement, expert in marketing advisory, and new innovation, so that if somebody wants to know about what is the new innovation. Like right now, I'm just working on hydrogen energy to power farms. For this time, there's issues of renewable energy, whereby we're going to solar. But do we know about this kinetic energy, hydrogen energy, all these technologies which are very exciting that the youth want to know. Sorry, my phone was coming to help take care of that. So anyway, now with that said, I'm looking at the model that what we are presenting. Sorry. Just give me an excuse. I manage this. Sorry, I have to put it up. So here, my model, I'm talking about digitization. So this PowerPoint I'll share with you guys, so that you can also have, because of the time, and I know there will be questions that are coming. So I would like to go quickly to a model that will be interesting for the youth to capture. Here, I don't know if you can see that. This is could be a very interesting thing for the youth, whereby I will need content with the 160 characters, whereby people who have registered to get information on greenhouse. We'll give them a lot every week or every other time that will be requested. So I'll need many people to come in and bring in content, because the content that we need is the content that will be read by the farmer who was already subscribed to our service. And the subscription perhaps somebody has subscribed and wants information on greenhouse. So we give him tips. So these tips, it is very, very important to acknowledge the person who provided the tip. If it's Dr. So-and-so, or if it's the university so-and-so. So we need to appreciate the person who gave the tip. And because the tip is going to nearly 1 million people, can you imagine with the subscription that is already there on a revenue share, you can easily get up to $5,000 a tip that you give. So to me, for the youth, this will encourage, because you have to look for a credible tip that will give, that will create inquiry. When you send somebody like that, for an example like this first tip on greenhouse, use sawdust to retain moisture in the soil and charcoal dust to keep disease and pests at bay. Somebody wants to get more information. So to get more information, how, where will he, where is the source of information? Is it credible? Then from there, we'll have a source of the information and then the IVR number, and people will call in. So it means we'll direct calls coming for people to get information about that tip that was received. So what I'm talking about is things that are missing in the marketplace, whereby all people who are my competitors who are offering services, they are offering services on SMS platforms. But to me, I want to give service on real time, whereby we do audio. So audio is what will be the big player, because in Africa, we are all stuck to our phones. We like talking and we like listening to the other person. So we like spending money to talk. But SMS, very few people want to read. When they read, it has to be an SMS for money. But now, if you know that you subscribe for greenhouse and you have challenges and we are giving you a tip, we are making you aware, and then we are asking you to call us on our IVR. Here we are generating money. We are paying the extension officer, we are paying the agent, who is the youth, who have thought in my mind, it's better to bring in the youth who are unemployed to be working. So I'm looking at, like you guys have already what you're doing in Western Kenya on cassava. So it can be very interesting, the cassava value chain, whereby you're giving tip, you're directing people to call, you're creating teasers that will bring in need for people to come and inquire and get more information. Because right now, I know there's so many varieties of cassava and people don't know about it. There's so many value addition of cassava. Like when I was in West Africa, Ghana, I love to take gari, and in Kenya we don't take gari. And gari is a good food for our people. Look, who will inform that? Who will inform the people about that? So we need to give those kind of tips. So those are kind of tips are the ones that are going to generate business to the youth. And it will be lucrative because the youth is not interested to go and dig that farm. They're interested to give information. Because a youth cannot wait for 75 days to 90 days for a crop to grow. But from the information they are going through the university and they can do trials, they can easily give information and tips. So here, the next one here, I'm just trying to show an integration which I was working on. And with this integration, I was trying to look at my app, which I would still integrate it with the SASAI, because I'm very keen to work with SASAI, whereby I will integrate an extension service, an agri shop, and an e-market, and a finance. So all this I'll share with you so that I give space for question and answer. And then this is also another very interesting one. I'm in partnership with Trotro Tractor that is in Ghana, and they're also in Zimbabwe, and also in Benin and in Nigeria. They're entering. Right now, they are trying to do something in South Africa. I discussed with them when we started creating this thought of urban mechanization, and we looked at one item of idle machinery. Your uncle, your brother, has a tractor that is sitting idle in the farm or in the village. So we were looking at bringing in the youth to give advisory to the tractor owner and to the other people that if you need mechanization, you can get a tractor from so and so, which can be brought on board. If you need a farm worker or casual labor, so we like to integrate a mechanization system with casual labor, with workforce, whereby right now many people, farmers always want to go into the marketplace and look for where can I get labor on this kind of thing. So a platform, if a platform is there, then that can be very interesting. So I would like to accept questions before we proceed. I don't know how much time I've taken. Back to
Thank you so much, Mr. Oliver, for that wonderful presentation. I think it was brief and to the point. So we already have a question there, and I think we're still on time. So we can move direct to the questions, Q&A. And guys, let's keep the questions coming. But for now, we have Boniface. I think Pete, you can unmute him so that he can raise his question to Mr. Oliver.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. You've given a very wonderful presentation. So I had two questions. The first one, I think you have answered. I have asked, what about smallholder farmers? Those who doesn't have smartphones. You said that they will be, you have a SSID. So I had another question. In PlantVillage, Nuru, we have a platform, an app called Nuru. So it operates both offline and online. I don't know if your model will operate when offline in those remote places that doesn't have that have network issues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That is very interesting. I thought about that, and I've been discussing. I even one time talked with Bill Gates, and I told him the issues of Africa and how data is very expensive. And what is my thinking? When you call 999, you don't need a smartphone. You can call 999 from any terminal if you have. So to me, to answer that question, I'm looking at working with SASA and also meeting the owner of Strike Missile to go to ITU, International Telecommunication Union, and pitch for the 888 so that it can be allocated to Africa or the whole world, so that we can use that number and it's taken to governments so that it's put in as a premium number for agricultural, because it's an essential service, and whereby the premium number will come in with subscription, because you know in Africa, many people don't have money to be calling on a standard rates of telecommunication. So when we have let's say a $1 rate for per year, sorry, per month, that will assist to pay the extension of it, because the call will be generated and it will be answered by somebody in the queue, but who will pay you? So we need to bring in funds, because remember, all the 50 million Kenyans cannot call at the same time. 5% or 6%. So if 6% of the numbers, you know what the numbers we're talking about. Even if it's 1 million people calling and they're already subscribed at $1, we have put 1 million in accounts to pay you to offer the services. So this is the model that I'm looking at, and my platform will assist in that. The platform of SASA will assist, because SASA also has a model that will assist for you to deliver content. We will pitch with my team here in Kenya to see if we can have an embedment of SASA app, picking up other models to develop content for agriculture, which can be very exciting. Because as they're putting content for music and drama and podcast, sometimes people don't even follow podcasts because they find it very boring. But if it's an exciting thing, there's a public speaker. Let's imagine we have asked Barack Obama to come today to be our speaker. and it's coming live. Everybody wants to connect. When I approached him last time, he told me he wants a fee of $4 million. So I don't have that kind of money, but slowly, we will reach there. What it means, it will be very, very exciting to even invite Africa Development Bank to come and speak to us. And then when it's recorded, it's put on podcast. And that can be very interesting. Which channel are we going to use? Sasa is available, then why not? Because everybody else is using YouTube and other channels. So why I'm trying to promote Sasa is because I would like even you, the youth, to have it. I would like the app that you already have, to have a link, so that when people want to use that app, you can send them to Sasa, and it's easy. And I believe some of you have already downloaded Sasa, perhaps, and then you want to understand, because I'm already in there and I can be sharing a lot of information to you. So to answer this question of the smallholder, we are looking at every Kenyan, 50 million of us, let's say, 80% of us are associated with agriculture. So what does it mean? You, the youth with a smartphone, you can tell the other farmer without a smartphone some information about diseases, about these other things. Because the farmer is not keen to have a smartphone because he works with soiled hands, and his concentration is his phone to receive money and to pay money and do all this. My model of M advisory is to have real-time audio call, not SMS. Because very few people read SMS who are not our age of 60 and under or 35 and under. And remember, the people who are farm owners and the ones who have good farms and the ones who are farming and the ones who have money are the older generation who have got the other phone. So to encourage us youth to do farming, that's why it brings me to this advisory thing of production. I would like to engage you, the youth, to do production. And to do production, you don't have to wait for 8 months for maize. I'll give you an example. Baby spinach that are being given an order for UK, it's only 40 days, which can be a very exciting thing. Value addition. The maize that is already being produced in the farms, we can do value addition, pre-cook it, like I'm trying to talk with some guys in Cape Town. They have got a model of pre-cooking ugali and packing it and sending it over to Europe, to Africa, to other sites. That can be very interesting. Marketing. The people who are very good in marketing, they can do the marketing and also advice. Financial, there's so many young people who are in agribusiness and also understand finance. So I'm bringing this discussion so that we can love agriculture. I didn't hate agriculture, and that's why it keeps me living up to today. The next question. Was it boring? So we can change the topic now. We'll stop agriculture and go for something else.
No, I see.
Thank you.
David
I hope our Boniface were answered. And are you satisfied?
Thank you, Ms. Ndwega, for that clarification for answering that question. Thank you.
So today I was very brief.
Thank you, Boniface.
As from my profile, you've had done greenhouses. Greenhouse is a whole long journey, which can be very exciting. And I don't know if it's proper to just give you tips and ideas, but what I've come up with, and ideas that have helped me to look at this differently. I know the people who are PhD holders in this meeting can criticize, but it can be very interesting. Many farmers in Africa, or especially in Kenya, I've seen and I've visited, they use the wrong polythene paper to grow vegetables. The polythene that we see in Naivasha is for flower farming, whereby in Europe, they want a stem which is 70 centimeters. So try to imagine that policy is to put a shade so that we can have a shade and then we have a stem which is long. And you're going to work with that to grow tomato. Tomato, we need a thick stem to hold the fruits, and we're using the wrong policy. So I would like you to think about that, that will bring you on board to give advice to the farmer so that we don't have a failure, because greenhouses are failed. Why? Because they're using the wrong policy. Second thing on greenhouse, we're using the wrong steel material. We need hot galvanized. Now, many people are using cold galvanized, which rust sometimes, which brings contamination. That means the crop you're going to grow will not be exported. We need advice on that. So we need experts who can crack the books and understand this advice we're going to give farmers. Is it reliable? Is it credible? Where is it coming from? Is it Egerton University, Jomo Kenyatta University, or is it in the US? So all that, we need a lot of support from the PhD holders and the professors so that we can help farming community now. I'll bring another topic because I know nobody is asking questions, but might be important. I believe you all know about Agriphysics. So Agriphysics, how do we implement or use it in our normal days? We position the magnetism to magnetic north. If you look at the animals, the cows especially, when they're chewing the cud, they're all facing magnetic north. So do we grow our crops towards magnetic north? So that is something that we can fight critically and talk with our PhD experts to bring in that thought that we need to advise the farmer. Because if you don't do to the magnetic north, then you'll have a low crop. Yes, Patrick.
Thank you, Ndwega. My name is Patrick Sugut. Yes, I want to agree with you with your sentiments, or rather with your contributions to today's discussion, rather today's insightful discussions. Actually, I can't agree with you further than what you have said. Actually, when you look at Kenya, when you transverse through Kenya, there's a lot that you see happening to the greenhouses that have been constructed or adapted by the farmers. In my analysis, the data that I've been collecting as I transverse around or as I go around Kenya, most of the greenhouses actually money on 2 or 3 or 4 tunnels, but none of that, or after some times you find that there are no crops in those greenhouses. So there is a disconnect on the information. And actually you'll see that there's this company which came up with some real estate advisory, or rather a way of making money at one time. And they were telling people that if you buy land, we shall install for your greenhouse. And after 6 months, you shall have a return on your investment. And thereafter the company, I mean, you know the story of how it went down. So there's a lot of disconnect, and people are being misled by the information that they just pick left, right, and center. And it's high time that experts like me and you and others, we join hands and really give the real-time information through the phone, so that somebody does not go around and pick information from anywhere, but they can. And that can only be done when people access it through their, which are very handy today. So somebody will have to do their research very fast. And because the information is from within, then they can get a credible information. Mine is not a question per se, but to agree with you and say that it is important for us to dig deeper and get the right information and transmit that information. And of course, our target group is the young generation that's coming up. Because when you look at unemployment in Kenya, it's actually on the high levels. And with a lot of smartphones around, or the phones and technology, we can change that narrative and really create more jobs and get more food on the table. So thank you, Ndwega, for your contribution. And mine is to say that that is the information on the right path. Of course, I'm happy also to hear that you have a concept on the cows facing a magnetic north. That is something I learned in Netherlands. And I've been trying to share with some farmers, and some of them agree to it. Some realize, oh, even cows, when they graze, they normally follow a certain direction when grazing. They follow some true north or some magnetic north. So thank you for your contribution, and it's been an insightful moment for us to share. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I am very excited from what you just presented. I know when I pioneered the greenhouse, it was a bait for other people to make money, and they misused it. And that's why in the marketplace right now, in Kenya especially, if you mention this tomato is coming from a greenhouse, nobody will buy. Or can I sell you a greenhouse? You will not buy. I would like to say in this meeting, very, very interesting. I used to make $1 million shillings a day that time. And I was in partnership with Amaran. I developed the Amaran kit. Unfortunately, I apologize because sometimes things backfire, but I improved and made something very interesting. And then I understood why greenhouse is good for cold areas and warm areas. So right now, I've developed things that can work in semi-arid areas and also cities and those kind of things. Coming up with what I was just mentioning about the magnetic north and cows, those information we need to give to the people, because right now the youth, to make them encourage good farming, we need to give them facts and the new technologies and new concepts. Like I do with my mother-in-law, I normally feed my cows at night. Why? Because at night there's no noise. Daytime, there's a lot of noise. So I've been telling farmers, please start your farm at 4 and end it at 4. So that from 4 a.m. up to 8 a.m. in the morning, at least the farm worker is not engaged with phone calls and all this kind of thing to make peace. Because that time is cool and they can work with the animals. I love working with the dairy animals at night because I give them night and they eat and eat. So daytime they chew can. And to me, when I did all these things, it was very exciting. But when I tell my other farmers who have got very good knowledge about what I'm talking about, they say, no, that is things that you're picking from the internet and giving to us. But to me, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to look at what knowledge do I have that I can have a conference and bring on board youth to train them, and this is what you're going to speak. But I need at the back end people with PhD because they're the ones who are recognized. Me, I'm an engineer. Professors to come and complement this. Because if they don't complement, then we'll be rubbished out there in the marketplace and we will find ourselves in a big problem where we are giving information which is not credible to others while it's the reality. So back to Madam Melanie, if there's any more questions coming. Nancy.
Yes. So thank you, Patrick. Yeah, so I think Lennox, we have David Mwita. So Lennox, you can go first, ask your question, then Mwita, then Nancy. Yes. Peter, is Lennox in?
Yeah, I think so. I just need to unmute.
Lennox or David, anyone can go first who is ready.
Okay.
The technology. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm saying the information the presentation was wonderful. There are a lot of new information and the app is wonderful. But my question now comes here that here in Kenya, we have many farmers and Africa at large. And what mechanisms have you placed to roll out this new information and the app to them? And then we have the other organizations with different approaches and different grounds people. How are you going to work with this of your system? Especially you cover a large area. And what I can say, it is the first time knowing about you and knowing about the Sasai app. So I've talked a lot, but my question was just how to reach the farmers with this new information. Thank you.
I will answer you with a question, or I will answer you with just a thought. I would like you to come on board and be my partner, so that you can also run a segment. I cannot touch the whole 600 million people in Africa. I cannot even manage 1,000 farmers. So I'm bringing on board people, like it's like M-Pesa. M-Pesa, there are so many people who are agents who can run with it. So to me, at the back end, I'll have an admin system. And that's why I'm bringing in on board SASAI. When SASAI management sees that this is something creative for Africa, we'll have every footprint in every country. You know, it's only Kenya that majority of our Kenyan people are working on Safari. But many other countries, people are working on Airtel, they're working on MTN and other networks. So it's very hard sometimes to penetrate because of the rates, and like you have just asked the charging of the rates with the Safaricom. Safaricom is a bit tricky because on the revenue share model, it's a 70-30. And you see, if you look at 70-30, Safaricom taking 70 and then you taking 30. 30 will be very little money if I'm picking $1 million and then I'm only going to remain with $300,000 to pay my agents. And how do I maintain knowledge? Because you'll be running an enterprise. How will I manage to do that? So what I'm trying to bring in a thought, I would like to share with you so that you know I'm coming in to this as a business. I'm not alone. M-Advisor will be just a brand like the way we have SASAI. SASAI is a platform that we want to embed with it. I don't want to go and start developing an app. You know, if you go to the Play Store, there are so many apps that are confusing people. This is for this, this is for this, this is for this. When you have one platform with all combined, then that is good. It's a super thing. So the other day when I was in Uganda, I was going to pitch to the European Union to see if they can give me $7 million euros. So with that, will assist me to do capacity building so that I can train you. I can give you gadgets. I'm working with a company in Estonia where we're trying to do IoT to see what kind of channels are we going to use. Are we going to use liquid telecom to offer cheap internet connectivity? Because at the end of the day, if it becomes expensive, then the farmer will shy off. Because I don't want to charge a farmer at a rate of 5 shillings per minute for a 3-minute call or 5-minute call, which means it will be hitting nearly $1 or half a dollar per call, and you will not have enough information to give. Because in Africa, we are social. We like talking. You can even talk for 10 minutes. So what is the cost of 10 minutes? So if I put on an IBR, a flat rate, and then I buy bulk minutes from a provider, then it will be cheaper. Then I'll bulk it, and because I know the farmer will not call every day. He'll only call once a week. If I've got 6 million farmers with the algorithms, I will know the sequence of them calling and the problems they're going to face. Because the farmers are segmented into livestock, crops, and this other information, financials, market, and all this. Perhaps the financial department is the one which is going to have more people calling in. I've got banana, I want to sell. I've got maize, I want to sell. So that call, because we want to give live call. We don't want to give recorded message, because recorded message, people shy off. And when people shy off, then I will not bring anybody on board. So to me, I want to create a system whereby we work with what is existing. The people who want to do through WhatsApp, I will tell them, okay, let's try SASAI to bridge in the agriculture space. So that if we get 5 million youth in Kenya who have downloaded SASAI app, then the management of Econet will be very excited too. But because they were here before in Kenya and they're still here, they have a footprint here. That is the role that I'm trying to bring in this space. I don't want you to download so many things because many people are always bashed on Facebook or whatever. But we want to see, can we bring in SASAI and be serious on what we're trying to offer, so that we can have a page for farming. There's a space in SASAI for farming whereby we can all consult. There's a space in SASAI where we can put music. There's a space in SASAI where we can do live things that what the lady presented. So I would like to answer Nancy Onyango asked a question: what role can agriculture extension and advisory play in realizing gender equality and nutrition? That's very interesting. I would like to ask you: you're called customer care, Safaricom, or whatever. Which voice do you hear and you love? Man or woman? Can be very interesting. So that needs to be the people who we are going to bring on board. We first of all need to take them through telephone etiquette, customer care knowledge, how to speak, and how to be calm, how to present yourself to clients so that you keep the client coming and asking questions and you become reliable. If you become rude, if you become all this, it will be too bad for us. So to me, on a gender equality, I think we will have more 80% more female, but people like to hear a female voice than a male voice. But we don't want to discourage the men so that they don't change their voice to female. But it's the way, it's the chemistry. And this brings me to a very, very interesting notion. I don't know, the PhD holders will also try to bash me. I'm a blood type O. And blood type O, if you look at blood type and character and personality, you see blood type O have got different character and personality. Blood type B have got different personality. A B is more of legal authority, like a policeman or like a lawyer. Blood type O is more speakers, business people. Blood type A is more scientists. AB is more general. So if you look at the person you're talking to on the other side of the phone, you can interact very quickly because there's a chemistry that will also flow because of the question flow that is going to come. And that will make life easier for that. And that will improve that issue of you're saying of gender equality. Now, from the nutrition part can be very interesting because before even nutrition, we need cash. With cash, you can buy nutrition. Because without cash, you're off. So what does it mean? The advice that will be given to grow food that is beneficial to you. And with the knowledge I'm trying to transmit to you in this meeting, I would like you to understand where I'm coming from and how I'm thinking and how I'm taking this discussion, so that you, when you come on board, I would like you to think like me, think business. So at the end of the day, we want cash to buy nutrition, to buy good food. Because right now everybody is going to organic food. And organic food is not that cheap in the marketplace. But in the rural area, it's the cheapest food that we know. So any other questions?
We have another question by David Mwita. I don't know if you can read from your end.
Oh, my eyes, you know, try.
So, Mwita, are you around, or I can just read? So David is saying, thanks for today's presentation from our guest, but my question is, how far have you covered in most of the countries that you already have your model in place, or is it like a pioneering innovation that still not a large base of users? Not a large base of users.
Thank you, David Mwita. I will tell you something. I'm just giving you information without an NDA, without all issues of disclosure. But why I'm giving you this information and in this meeting is because already I'm in a footprint in Ghana with MTN and Vodacom. In Uganda, we are still working. We are being incubated by Ministry of Science and Technology, whereby I'm trying to offer something to a department called PBIT. PBIT is a Presidential Banana Initiative. They have a factory in Bushenyi where they're producing banana, and they want the farmers to have a second income on another crop apart from banana. So that advisory is what I'm working on with them, and also marketing, using the same advisory and to market in Europe and diaspora for people to take up the banana. In Botswana, we were entering, but we're still waiting for my team to complete the registration there because it's not very easy to do registration because every country we are in, you must pay content license. Like in Kenya, the content license is $10,000. It's not very cheap venture. To be hosted by Telecom, to run your rack or IBR, we need about 75,000 or nearly $1,000 a month. So it's not a cheap venture. And that's why I'm going the direction of WhatsApp, BOT, and SASAI to make life easier for already the people who have got smartphones before we venture on the other people who don't have smartphones. I don't know if I've answered that to you.
Yes, I think there is another question that goes in hand with that from Brian Melly. He's saying, thank you for wonderful presentation. The question is, how does this work, especially here in Kenya where we have more than one network, hence different charging rates? What mechanism have been placed to cushion farmers from paying much in order to access the service?
Oh, this is very interesting. Communication Authority of Kenya are the ones who offer the IVR numbers. The IVR number like 999 or the one which you're pushing 888, it's going to be within all the networks. So it's like the star 55544 is an IVR that is running with all the networks. So we're going to have a standard rate. And we are trying to pitch for, because this, what we're trying to discuss is an essential service. It's not a premium rated for, let's say, betting and gambling and this kind of thing. This is a service that is needed for us to improve food and nutrition, like the other lady was asking. So the charging rate, we were looking at back in the pocket of the farmer. Can we charge more money? No. Does a farmer have $1 a month to access our service? Yes. So if he has $1, then why don't we have the open rate, and then we have the numbers. My target is to have 5 million people on board. So 5 million people, they need to be somebody at the back end to support them. And that's why we need you as the youth and expert youth to come on board. So when you come in on board, like the number, like you can have in your small MSME, you can have managing, let's say, 5,000 farmers or 10,000 farmers. So if I create this platform, all the youth in excess of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, even 5,000 can be in business because they were offering agriculture extension service and advisory through the platform using the same number IVR 888 and picking information from Lulu, from plant doctor, plant nicks, and all this kind of thing, so that you are informed. Because the person you want him to download the app doesn't have time and doesn't have space on his phone, but he will want to call to hear the story. Like now, Patrick, I'm very excited to hear. He knows about magnetic north from Holland. So that brings in a credibility whereby if we teach people about that, then they will know how do we put our paddocks, how do we feed our animals and see if they're going to produce more milk when they're doing that. Or do we chase the animal to start facing the other side and get shock and stress and this kind of thing. So at the end of the day, it's very exciting to have these knowledges that we already been picking from the university to do it practically. Because the people who are already doing agriculture, they're still using the 1960 model, the 1970s. And right now the world is moving. Today I will tell you something interesting. I'm working on some guys in Bangladesh, the gurus in Bangladesh, on blockchain, whereby we need traceability and we need to do something towards blockchain so that when we grow products in the farm, we need somebody to have a QR to scan it and see this product, it comes from Nandi, it's a tea from this farm. And this is the price the farmer was paid at, and this is the price I'm buying. People in Europe, they want to see fair trade. They want to see clean food, less pesticide, and all that information is there on blockchain. So that's the next meeting that perhaps if I'm given a chance next time to present on blockchain. Where I bring in my expert. Any other question?
Thank you. I hope I have not missed anyone's question. I can see Sally who here from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us and welcome. I don't see any other question.
So do you have any other question perhaps you have missed that you want me to present? But specifically
no, I can see we are running out of time, but maybe our question is, now that we have youth here and you have your platform that is the M advisory deals or the V advisory deals. So here we have everyone has a different expertise that is in the field of agriculture. So how can you help them to maybe create these job opportunities? Maybe someone has a knowledge on production or value addition. So with your service or M advisory services, can one of us, he or she, gets a chance to maybe answer those questions in the M advisory or even check on the alerts on the service, the M advisory services? So in short, can you create a job opportunity for online work for this youth?
This is very interesting. I would like to ask the guys in America, please, can you get us funds to help make these people have an iPhone, smartphone, iPhone, and this kind of thing? Okay, I don't have a lot of money to do that. I've created this so that I bring people on board to share revenue with me. The job opportunity is there. It's just you to be smart, to have knowledge. If your specific line is in this line, you come on board and we bring in who are the people who want information about fish farming and fish management. Who are the people who have got cassava? Because you see, many people go to university to do general agriculture. Very few people are on horticulture, few people are on maize, few people are on apiary. So the whole world is right now in Kenya, we're a bit confused. We want to trend where our parents are, let's say dairy farming, beef farming, chicken farming. But if we have experts specific, like I'm saying, I'm giving an opportunity for 1,000 experts to come on board. And what is the salary? The more you work, the more you earn. It's like a call center. Which means if I'm earning $1 million, there's a percentage going to you. And then we need to work with that percentage. And you don't need to be on a full-time employment. It's just a matter of, if you see your phone ringing, you know that's work. If you don't pick it, the phone will hop to another available, we will call customer care. So if you lose that opportunity, you go to another person. So that's why I need 500 and 100 people on board on one channel. If let's say somebody already has subscribed, is a dairy farmer, all the questions that will be coming from that channel will be in dairy farming, on production, on value addition, and all these kind of things. So we need experts in that. And to me, this will create a very big enterprise and business for the youth. I'll shock you. I might need 1,000 million youth, but where are the million youth who have gone through university? I don't want quacks. Somebody from primary school to come and join me and give information. Because we will bring in on board credit accreditation system whereby we have the university to accredit that you have gone through this, you have this knowledge, you have done 3 years of university and you can manage. And then see, it's not easy because I'm also working with a company from Canada, Advisor Pro, and they work with experts. If you go to their website, you'll see an expert is paid $60 an hour to give information, to give advice. So here in Kenya, we have to go slow because the farmer doesn't have enough money to pay us. So we'll work with the little money. So if we put the money in a pool, then we'll pay good money because farmers will not talk every day. If they talk every day, then I'll be bankrupt. Has it answered? Or something I've missed?
Yes, I think I've answered. So Pete, you are in the US. So please, you can tell us where we can get these funds.
Oh, I will assist Pete to get the funds. There are so many foundations there that can fund us. But now the issue is, has it been tested? So many questions are coming. Are we throwing money to Africa again? Are we doing what? So many questions are coming. So we need to generate money in Africa. We don't need the money from Europe, from America. America, we need money to support us in capacity building, in the seed capital, the first walk. When we walk, then you leave us to run it. Because if we start every time depending, it will bring in the element of corruption, it will bring the element of ethics and all this kind of thing. Africa can feed itself and can grow, can generate money by itself. I believe you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that lines up directly with PlantVillage's philosophy, or not having Europeans and Americans get off the planes and tell Africans what to do when they know best, and so just give them the tools for them to get started, and then let them take it from there, because they're more than capable. I fully agree.
So I don't know if the lady from Zimbabwe is still on. We might invite her back. If she's on, we can invite her back to give her a comment, because those questions that I answered.
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, now those questions that I answered in confidence, but now I need you to, in the meeting, to give us a hope that we will push Sasai in Kenya to get 5 million subscribers, and we bring in on board agriculture concept.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Ndwega, for actually advocating for Sasai. Definitely, I think I see a good partnership coming out of M Advisory and Sasai, that is Zimbabwe and Kenya. And yes, of course, agriculture on the platform, yes, it's going to make a lot of sense for a lot of people in Zimbabwe as well as across Africa and globally. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's good. We have heard from her. So I know I will still continue with the discussion with the company Sasai to see if we can have a footprint in Kenya, especially in Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania. Because at the end of the day, when there's too much pressure in East Africa, because we are under COMESA, when there's too much pressure, it means, I will give an example. The trucks that are leaving Mombasa to Kampala, you can see on one side, the trucks are loaded with stuff going to Uganda. But from Uganda, trucks that are coming to Kenya are very few. So if you look at the roadside, one side of the truck is messed by the food going to Uganda. We need to produce food in Kenya so that we can take to Uganda. We need to produce food from Uganda to bring to Kenya. So all this is it needs advice on transportation, logistics, advice on production, marketing, and all this kind of thing. So it can be very interesting to have Sasai on board, and then we tell the governments, please use Sasai to do marketing, use Sasai to trade. Not forgetting already, the host has got an app called Nuru. We need Nuru to also to be embedded, like the way you've embedded all the other TV stations in Sasai. So that if somebody doesn't know about Nuru, just go to Sasai app. When you're logged in, you can go to Nuru. Because here, we're not looking at competing. We need to complement and see technologies that will help. And at the end of the day, the accounting manager is the one who knows where the money goes. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, thank you.
We are looking forward to the partnership as well.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Rutendo.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, we're running out of time. And yeah, so thank you, Mr. Oliver. And I think we have in PlantVillage or Dream Team, we have youth who are interested in the hydroponics. We have those who are interested in greenhouse farming or who are already doing that. And they'll always need knowledge or your guide, your guidelines, since you have manuals, you've developed manuals for that. So how can they always reach out to you? And then for Sasai, we have those youth who are really good in content creation. So I think Rutendo, how can they reach out to you?
I don't know what's best. Can I maybe probably send in my my email address in the chat?
Yeah,
Sure.
that can be good. And what Rutendo you can do, I believe, which can be very important. I believe Melody
Yes.
and the team, you've got a WhatsApp group whereby you can add Rutendo to the
Okay.
WhatsApp group, so that if there's something
Yes.
exciting, can be given direction, a new alert on Sasai, that can assist. And then perhaps we try and bring in some of the members to Sasai. Because I'm already in. It's only
Yes.
Melody. I don't know if you're in. Now, to answer
I'll
the
be
question,
in the future.
yeah, to answer the question.
All right.
about-
So maybe I'll put in my number in the chat box.
Yep.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah,
to
thank
answer
you.
the question about technologies of hydroponic and technologies of greenhouse. My vision on greenhouse was different from what people already in the market is doing. Like the way we have a radio and a TV at home. My vision was to have a small mini greenhouse in every home so that we can grow food for ourselves. Surplus to the market. Now for the youth, my idea was to have a distribution system whereby a youth can have a small mini greenhouse, you press it on the app, and then within this vicinity of, let's say, a distance of, let's say, half a kilometer, you can put yourself on a geolocation whereby you say, today I'm posting, I've got tomatoes ready for anybody to pick. So that is the model that I had in mind, whereby in every circumference of half a kilometer, we have a small farm, mini greenhouse, which is growing organic for tomato, cucumber, spinach, and this kind of thing. So they used to adapt that. But when people went commercial, they forgot that with a small unit of 120 square meter, you cannot do much. It's not even profitable. To make profits, you need 1 hectare. But because many people don't have 1 hectare, it makes sense to have 1 acre, 4,000 square meters. So that knowledge is what now needs to be transferred to people who are going to do commercial farming in greenhouse. The hydroponic. Why did I come up with hydroponic? My wife was tasked at the university. What are the challenges of a dairy farmer? Feed. So when we brought in the concept of, when I researched the concept of hydroponic, I saw a lot of bashing in the internet whereby people proclaimed that some animals were killed. I trained a lot of people here. And with that, my model was the feed for feeding chicken in Kenya especially. It's very expensive. So I was saying, we can feed a chicken with $1 a day. No, sorry, a shilling a day. Chicken. Because I given one mathematics. 1 kilo of grain is 40 shillings. 1 kilo can feed 200 birds when sprouted. So 200 birds divided by 40 shillings, you get 40 cents. So let's make an assumption. 40 cents is too low. Let's put 2 kilos. That's 80 shillings. Little committee, please. 2 kilos means is 80 shillings. So let's push our division to 80 cents. We're nearly a shilling. So will it be comfortable for a farmer to feed this chicken at 1 shilling, which means 30 shillings a month, and they've got 500 birds. I've got a farmer who is spending 75,000 shillings a month on feed. If you use the technology of hydroponic, we're going to push the figure down to 15,000. So does it make sense? Because we are putting money back to the pocket of the farmer. But there are people here who are not knowledgeable, try to compete the technology. You get where I'm coming from? For the dairy farming and pig farming and all this kind of thing, dairy farming, the hydroponic technology is like glucose. When you take in the sprouted barley or grain, it's digested 100%. But if you go and look in the farm, the poo of the cow, you will find that some is not digested, and that's why you find is an issue. We find it also for poultry. The chicken feed is also fed to the animal daily. So all that the challenge is what craved me to come up with greenhouse farming and hydroponic technology. When all that pain brought to the issue of Emmet President, I said, now let me retire. There's too many people who are making so many mistakes. I come up with a platform to help the people. If MTN, if Airtel is not talking about agriculture, let me, with M Advisory, talk. Let SASA also have a page. Let's talk about agriculture. And see, when we start talking about agriculture in Africa, then people will be following us. People will respect Pete coming from the US with technology. Say, oh, this technology you're trying to do it in Africa, we can support you with this knowledge. Because the knowledge that is there in the US is different from Africa. We have got enough sun here. There in the US, I don't think you have aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is more in Africa. In the US, I don't know if you have houseflies. Here you have a lot of houseflies, but houseflies are good because they produce larvae, and the larva is feed for the chicken, maggot farming. So all that information, it surprises many people in Africa, whereby people are craving for information. People are craving for knowledge. Unfortunately, I want to stop there because the more I talk, the more you guys will go to sleep late. Perhaps you invite me for another meeting, and then perhaps in the next meeting, we can discuss about blockchain. If time will allow, for December. Then next year, perhaps we can come up with a concept of teaching people how to speak on the phone, customer care service, telephone etiquette, because that is very important to bring in a farmer, to listen to the farmer. I brought this concept of blood type. It's very, very key. Do your own research and see. You'll be shocked about who you are. I'm shocked to who I am. Oliver Ndwega, I'm a blood type O, very arrogant people. You see, blood type B, more legal, policemen and this kind of thing. So when you are being harassed by somebody who is a policeman, you know he's a blood type B. But remember, in agriculture, what do blood type B eat? The more vegans, or are more on meat people. You get? So look at what are harmful foods for blood types. So that will excite you, then you will know, oh, this is a trend. If I go to the marketplace and I'm selling this, it will not be bought because of the chemistry of that buyer and the consumer. You can do that example yourself with your friends, even at home. You'll see. It's very exciting. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Oliver. So I think we should bring you back on board to talk on hydroponics, greenhouse farming. I think you also had a concept of vertical farming on a kitchen garden, and also the blood group types and the, what was it, nutrition and blood group types. Yeah, something like that. So thank you so much for.
It's unfortunate for vertical gardens. We have enough land in Africa. Vertical gardens is good for people who are in the cities, not in the slum, in the flats, where we have balcony and patios. So to me, it's not a selling point because we have space enough to grow food. It's only that for people, women and mothers who are got behind the kitchen, the balcony, you can grow your dania and vertically with the clean water or with the drinking water that you normally use. So that only commercially it's not viable. It's only like a hobby, like a gardening. And to me, I want to get serious people because gardening is another thing altogether.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for spending your time to talk to us and also preparing this presentation for us. We also had John Chelal, who is our country director. I'm not sure if he is still in. Maybe you could say something. Okay, I don't think if he's around. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Do you want to answer that one?
Sorry?
There's a gentleman, David Mita, asked another question. Do you want us to answer that before we go?
Oh yeah, sorry. So he was asking where we can, he's saying that the topic was mainly on youth and agribusiness, but you can all agree with me, for most youth, financial constraints is an issue. So is there a way you maybe try and create a link whereby these youths can comfortably access these financial institutions to help them venture into it?
I do want us to miss that. Already Equity Bank through MasterCard have got 80 billion, which the youth have not even going to pick it. We are waiting for Equity Bank to take that money to the marketplace. So it's us, we don't have a proposal to give to the bank. Bank is waiting for you. The youth, Equity Bank has got money for agriculture. Me, I'm giving you an offer. I've not given you my salary, how much I'm going to pay, but if you become my partner, you can see. Let's look at if all of us will have got $1 million, can you imagine how much you get? So that is the thought. And I'm waiting for Pete. If you get somebody to give a seed capital in the US to say, oh, this guy, I've got a brilliant idea. Why don't we have Sasai? Why don't we have M Advisory? And any other somebody who will coming up with the concept to support cassava or do whatever. So at the end of the day, I understand this financial constraint, and that's why my presentation today was focused on how youth can use advisory to make money. You just speak, make money. I don't want you to go to the garden and start digging. I want you to use your mouth, make money. I don't know if that makes sense. David Muita, I don't know if he wants to answer or we close.
We'll take silence for yes from David Muita.
I think they are trying to digest I would like everybody to go home satisfied, so that you will need me for the next meeting.
Sure.
So if David has a challenge in the communication, then what we do, I will the time.
I think I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Patrick, did you have something maybe to close the day?
For those who have hosted the meeting today, and for those who have presented, that is Ndwega and Tendo, we want to acknowledge and appreciate your time. You have shared so much, and I think there's a lot can be learned from this. That from my side personally, we have contacts for Ndwega, and so that we can share more. I'm also an agricultural engineer. When it comes to ideologies in agriculture, so it would be good offline we can always get a chat and know and share one or two. Thank you, team.
Thank you, so good. So I'll share his contact with you and anyone else who is interested. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for those who have asked questions, and thank you, Oliver, for responding to those questions. Thank you, Tendo. And we had people from Nigeria and I think DRC. So thank you everyone for joining. I think we'll end there for today. Let's meet again next time. Bye everyone.